Good morning. It's a few minutes before 8 o'clock. I just pulled onto campus for work. And I wanted to record a quick video as I was thinking about the time that I spend in my car. I have a 45 minute commute each way, each day. I've been doing it for almost 11 years. And there are things about it that are really challenging for me. Right now, one of the biggest struggles is getting out of the door and mostly getting back into the door in the evenings because of our commute time. By the time we get home in the evenings, it's pushing 6 o'clock. Everyone's fried. We're hungry. The boys are excited to see us, and as anyone with small children knows, sometimes excitement in small kids translates into cranky. So at that time of day especially, it can make for a really stressful evening. And I've shared numerous times that time of day is by far the worst time of day for me because of all of those things. And I don't always I almost never react well in those situations. So I've been doing a lot of things to try and change the external forces that contribute to the stress, such as meal planning and meal prep, so that my dinners go really quickly when I get home and have minimal mess and minimal fuss. And just trying to have all of the things gathered and ready to try and ease that difficult time of day. But inevitably, we wind up all mad at each other in some capacity. So one of the things that I've been trying to do is use my commute time to do things that are positive for me. I frequently listen to NPR, but these days all that is talked about is the election. I will vote in the election. I will do my civic duty, but I don't want to hear another thing about another candidate. So I've been listening to podcasts, and which I've only just recently discovered is really a thing that's a viable option for making the commute a little bit more bearable. And I've been listening to the Happier podcast, which is just kind of fun. It's listening to these two women who I feel like I can relate to so much. They're working mothers, they're smart, they're intelligent, they're introspective, and they're just trying to make positive changes in their daily habits and routines. So in that vein, I wanted to give myself a gold star. That's what they do at the end of each of their podcasts, is someone gets to award themselves a gold star. Because yesterday I finished listening to my podcast and I found myself feeling that anxiety rise before I got home. And I thought, this is no way to start a night. And if I'm already gearing myself up to deal with stress and difficulty, that in and of itself is stressing me out, and I need to just take a chill. So I had about 5 minutes left before I got home. I turned off the podcast. I didn't turn on the radio, and I just took some deep breaths. And I was drawing on what I know from exercise and from yoga in particular to calm my mind. So there's a type of breathing in yoga called ujjayi, and ujjayi is kind of tightening the glottis, and then it slows down the breathing. It makes a sound too. It goes something like this. And it just slows things down. And I did that for the last 5 minutes of my drive. I pulled into my driveway and I did it a few more times. And when I went into the house, I was able to deal with getting the dog out, welcoming the boys home, starting a dinner that did not go as planned, and then go run errands in the evening. And I don't think I yelled at all. And this was a huge breakthrough for me, to be able to walk into the door feeling calmer and in a positive mindset so that I could better deal with the stresses that were coming at me, and those things that set me off normally, which is my kids crying. So gold star for me, taking advantage of being in this car and in this space for a significant amount of time each day. And I'm hopeful that I can continue with this practice of taking some deep breaths before I go into my house, or in this case, before I go into work. So maybe that works for you, or maybe you have some other technique that you use during those few moments that you have to yourself to regain some composure and face the day with a little bit more grace and gratitude.